Today we're going to be looking at Buakaw warm-up footage, and I'm going to analyze what I see, because a lot of times in my experience, the way people warm up dictates the way they fight. And that's very simple, because if I go out and I practice, half an hour of jabbing just before a fight, that's probably the way I'm going to execute. So I want to look in particular at how amazing Buakaw's kicks are, how fantastic he was looking early in K1 Max days. When he started off, he was cracking the pads backstage in Japan. And then I want to talk about the footage where he's warming up for Masato, and he's throwing a lot of boxing combinations. So let's dive right in to Buakaw pre-fight warm-up footage. So we have 3 clips to go through today. Number 1 is going to be Buakaw warming up in 2006 when he was getting ready to fight Mike Zambides. Mike Zambides was just this 5'6", much shorter than Buakaw, little tank of a Greek fighter who just had this crazy overhand. Very rarely threw straight punches. And when we see Buakaw warming up here, we're going to see him utilizing those nice, lengthy push kicks, sort of Thai side kicks, which I've talked about before. He's just stretching out, maximizing that range. He's throwing it over and over. As we see Buakaw utilize these tactics, or this technique, it sort of sets the stage for the type of fight he's wanting to implement, wanting to keep a good amount of length between him and the Greek fighter who just hits like a truck. What I really like when I watch this is I just see Buakaw utilizing that long, stretchy push kick, which has just been so effective for him in so many fights, and it's something I've talked on the channel about a whole lot. You can check out videos on that Thai side kick, as I call it, up there. Now, before we get to Buakaw just annihilating the pads with his legs, I want to talk first about this boxing footage we see when he's facing Masato for the second time. In the first fight, he just annihilated Masato with kicks. And I think it's very interesting that in the fight and in the warm-up, we see him focusing more on throwing hands. In my opinion, probably not a good strategy, but something that happens very often in the fight world is we feel like we need to evolve. We need to make changes instead of just sticking with strategies that already work. So let's roll this fight clip footage here, or warm-up footage, and I'll walk you through what I see. Buakaw letting those hands go. Unfortunately, when he throws, there's a lot of little mistakes. You can see the hand that's not throwing is exceptionally low, and we'll run through it one more time here. When he makes contact with the pad, his hand slides down low. Buakaw is by no means a high-level boxer. He's a very high-level kickboxer. He has good enough hands, but it's his legs which are really phenomenal. In the next warm-up clip, we will really see him utilize those kicks. But in that footage, it's funny that he managed to warm up in that style and then try and implement a very similar tactic in the fight, and it didn't end up working for him. He ended up losing that fight. So this is just basically sort of a warning from me to you, to let you guys know, even if you're Buakaw and you execute an improper warm-up, granted it's only a very short clip, so maybe he did lots of other stuff, but executing an incorrect warm-up could lead to a loss, could lead to your mind just not being on point for the fight you want to execute. And finally, we're moving into the good stuff. Buakaw's first year in K1 Max, he was getting ready to warm up for John Wayne Parr, I believe, in the quarterfinals of the 2004 K1 Max. Let's roll this clip here. We'll see Buakaw just look at that left round kick. Boom, boom, boom. It's just amazing. It's so fluid. This right high kick, no movement through his head. His head just stays in place. He's just launching the kicks the way he does in fights back at this time period. I have a ball watching this guy hit pads. And we'll see him at the end here throw a Thai side kick. Look at how far he sends his trainer backwards just with that one push kick. Let's roll that one more time just because it's spectacular to watch. The speed which he executes that left round kick, I've talked about it before on the channel, that left round kick of his, the skip that he does, it's just amazing. Very fluid from one to the other. When he comes out of his kick, he's completely balanced. And this is just the way he used to fight. He used to compete. He looks spectacular. And watching guys like Buakaw do their pre-fight warm-up gives us inspiration, but it also gives us little notes for ourselves on ways that we can improve and ways we can possibly execute our own fight warm-up. So I hope today you guys enjoyed seeing this footage of Buakaw hitting the pads, getting himself loose and ready for the fights. This wasn't easy footage to find. I didn't just stumble on it. I had to do a decent amount of research to find it. So if you guys appreciate that, please give the video a like. If you haven't already, join the channel and get subscribed. As always guys, train hard. I'll see you back here soon for another video.